Hello, friend. Before we dive in, please note I am not a licensed therapist, counselor, or certified life coach. I'm just someone who's lived through a lot, learned some powerful lessons the hard way, and now feels called to share what I've gained. While I do bring on guests who may have formal credentials, my role here is to hold space for honest stories and real conversations. You may hear from people with different religious, political, or personal beliefs than your own. That's part of what makes this space so special. If we stay open-minded, then we can learn from each other's perspectives and experiences and all come out the better for it. My hope is that this podcast helps you feel seen, connected, and empowered to keep growing. Okay, so we are here with my sister Janice and my niece Hope, and they are with Maple Row Wedding and Event Center and also Wisp and Well Salon and Spa here in Dadeville. So I wanted to bring them on because Janice has been a mentor of mine in the field that I am in. And so I have enjoyed working with her for so many years, and it's been a learning, so much learning that I have been able to do in my experience working with her about all things natural and holistic and bettering ourselves. And so that's one of the main reasons that I wanted to bring her on. And also I just want to give her an opportunity to talk about the new thing that she has began. So without further ado, I want to start by asking you, Janice, to just share a little bit about yourself and how you found yourself to be a cosmetologist first, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about how you started your career and how it evolved.
Okay, so the kid's dad was in an accident, and I had really wanted to just be a stay-at-home mom, grow food, homeschool, that kind of things. And so their dad was in an automobile accident. So tables turned that, okay, I'm going to have to provide for the kids. So I actually wanted to go to massage therapy school first, but there was not a massage therapy program except for in Birmingham, or if that was like the closest one. So I wasn't able to do that. So I went to cosmetology school because it was a trade. I could, do it in a year and start providing for the kids. So started going to cosmetology school and got out and decided I really did like cosmetology. I could do, facials and things like that, liked that part of it. But then Opelika opened up a massage therapy program. So I was like, okay, so right when I finished cosmetology, Southern Union opened up a massage therapy program. So I decided to go. So then I was at the cut above them, but decided just because I really wanted to be seen as professional. So there was the Wellness Center, and they had a spot open up for massage therapists. So I started out at the Wellness Center. So
okay, perfect. Yeah. So when you say that you wanted to appear professional, it was that they had the physical therapy department there, and they had were able to give you referrals from physical therapists and that sort of thing,
yes.
And you were able to wear scrubs and look like the whole professional image and stuff. I like that. Yeah, so you began, and that's where I came on board with you when you were at the Wellness Center. And my personal story, and again, this is another one of the things I love about this podcast and what my purpose is. There's lots of entrepreneurs who have businesses, and we know about what services they're advertising, but lots of times what you don't know is what goes on behind the scenes, and lots and lots of years of grinding, to get there as an entrepreneur. But it is kind of, my experience is very cool that I have gotten to see it from a lot of different perspectives. I don't think people would have ever believed what a hard worker you were if I had not worked with you day in and day out and seen it firsthand and told people, y'all do not know. Y'all don't have a clue at the way that this girl works, and everything that she has earned, blood, sweat, and tears, okay? and so that getting to see that and understanding, from my perspective, getting to see someone working hard and reaching goals and being successful and stuff, and that was inspiring. But also, what people don't know is that I was going through a very difficult time in my life. I had started drinking, went through a divorce. Just was really probably, I would say that's probably my closest to rock bottom I've probably ever been. And, I was crying and upset. And, at that time, I was a Pink Cadillac Driving Mary Kay director. And, I just was, had reached a level of success that prior to that, didn't know if I was capable of. And so I had reached that level, but then because I had started drinking and having some issues, it all just started slipping away, and I was crying to you. And one thing I love about you and have always loved about you is that you are empathetic and you will listen, to something with an open-hearted, empathetic heart, but you also want to teach a man to fish. Not just give them the fish, and that really made all the difference in the world to me and in my success, because I really believe that if I hadn't come to work for you and I went to work somewhere else, several different things would have happened. One, the environment wouldn't have changed for me. And once you get into an environment of the wrong kind of people, it's really hard to detach yourself from that unless you have a purpose like a job or, something like that. And so I had lost my peppy, bubbly personality part of me that had always been able to get bookings on the spot with people and make sales and that sort of thing, and was sort of bordering on depression. And I came to you and I was crying about this, and you said, okay, here's what I think. I know you love doing facials, and I know you love your Mary Kay. I know you don't really want to quit. So why don't you come apprentice with me? I'm getting busier. I'd like to focus a little more on my massage business, and you could maybe take over some of the nails, and you could do facials, you could sell your Mary Kay, all that. And that appealed to me. It really did, because I was like, I can't go get these bookings. I've got to have somebody make the bookings for me. I'm just wasn't in a good head.
And you're a learner. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm just a learner.
Yes, and I did want to learn something. Absolutely. That's a good point. Yeah. So I said all of that to say that when you have a business, you might not realize it, but you have the opportunity to change people's lives. And I take that to heart, my experience with you, and I hope that I can pay that forward and keep that going with my employees, my staff, that their lives, and they might not have the same problems I had, but I hope that in 5 to 10 years they say, hey, because you did this or said that, or because you brought me into this environment, I saw there was a different way to live. And that's a big part of what happened for me, was the clients and customers that you had there was a different, what's the word I'm looking for? A different
Environment.
Yeah, just the kind of people that were clients there were the type that also, here's a cool thing about living in a small town. Okay, so just only for the last couple of years have I wanted to live in a small town again. Right? For 10 years, I was like, I'm getting the heck out of here. Can't wait to get out of this. I'm going to get in a bigger town and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so something that I love about a small town is that you are always, no matter who, you might have a client here, you're going to see them somewhere else. You're going to get connected in other ways. And all of these people, the difference in having a customer who you do a facial on or a massage on every 4 weeks or whatever, they're coming to you and you're spending an hour or more every 4 weeks. You really learn each other. You get to know each other. You get to love each other. You really do. You go through life together. They're experiencing all of these happy moments and sad moments. with me and me with them. And it almost brings me to tears because it really gets, you know, but these people, some of them former teachers of mine, some of them, just they have this desire to take you under their wing and to, show you what you can, have or be better, do better, or whatever. And it's almost like they want to be your grandma, and I didn't really understand the value of that until like recently. Like a lot of things have been coming like to my attention. And some of the reason for that is because I'm getting out of survival mode. And I'm getting into a place where I can exist and breathe, take up space and think and reminisce and not be like,
yes, it's such a good place to get.
So I credit, a lot of the changes that I've made to the environment you provided and the mentorship that you provided. And so I thank you for that.
Well, I thank you because you were, I couldn't ask for somebody better to work alongside of me. So
thank you. So, all right. So once you were at Oasis, you were massaging, doing facials. I was doing all your nails then. You convinced me to go to Cut Above and learn hair.
Right.
And those beautiful, wonderful ladies up there helped me so much. Oh my goodness, I don't know what we would do without Marquita. And all the girls up there helped me so much. Melanie and April and just all of them. Just
for sure.
A good crew.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, what next? Like, how did you proceed from there? What made you decide to buy the building?
So we outgrew space because remember Peggy started coming and massaging with us, and we really only had
and Erica.
Yeah, and then Erica
came,
and so we just grew and we needed more space, and can't thank my husband enough because he has helped provide all these things. He helped me get the spa, so he was the one that could come in financially with he had some money to help put up some money to do the changes. I had the money to get the building, but he had the money to put in, and he also had the knowledge. And he loves to do things. Because I was just like, the floor is fine, but he always wants to do things better, or he used to. I might have gotten a little bit
worked to the death. That's what happened.
We work each other to death.
I think so. That's more like it. Yeah.
Scott being a contractor who I married at the time, which has been such a blessing, and then having you and Peggy and all, and we needed more space, so it's amazing how God works. So.
Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the rebranding. What is Wisp and Well, and tell me like all about these new changes that you made and that sort of thing.
So it's kind of
I'm very excited about this story.
I didn't know it was going to happen, but anyhow, so needed to take the space back over, and I think the thing that I did learn through Maple Row is that I kind of, kept some clients all along. I say I kept them. They actually kept me. They would not.
Wouldn't let you quit.
Yeah, they're just like, no. And so I guess when somebody, you feel that important to somebody, you can't stop.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that time with my clients. I do believe I have a healing touch. I really do. I believe that, I have that gift. And so I'm like, if I have this gift and I have people, so it just kind of helped come back together. And so Hope actually came in town, and she's such a gift. She's so I'm the hard worker. I am, and she's a hard worker too, but she's so much better at being organized, being really putting the things behind the scenes now, helping me with that, because it was just too much for me to do by myself before. I mean, I did have help, but anyhow, I just needed Hope, and so Hope came back, and so we decided to roll with it and see where it went, and so happy we did. We have Jennifer, which is such a great massage therapist, which she's helped
absolutely.
And then we just had this new girl, Lexi, and she is amazing. So she does, and actually because of you actually give her my number to contact.
Yes.
And I think she's just going to be such an incredible fit. She's precious, has an amazing gift as well, and so
very good.
Yeah, and then Wanda is kind of whenever I left the spa, Wanda came, but she is just a sweetheart, just loves being there. It feels like home to her. And
Yeah.
whenever I was not knowing really what, if I was going to try to save it or not, like, she's just like, she just, you have to, she's like, this is my home. So she
Okay.
gave me a lot of reason. And Hope's like, Mama, don't just let this all go away. You work too hard.
So I think that we kind of glossed it. We might have lost some people in the what made you decide at what point like you tried to sell it is basically what you're
tried to sell
covering
the
now.
business.
Tried to sell the business,
Yes.
and that didn't work out.
Correct.
And you decided to take it back instead of letting it go because everyone made you realize how important you are and that you have the touch that they don't want to let go.
I never thought about it that way, but yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So, but prior to you coming on board with the spa changes, Maple Row came in the middle of that. You were working for Maple Row as the wedding and event coordinator first.
Well, it actually started off, I actually did some event planning outside of Maple Row. So I had started that, and then at the almost not long after, they were already renovating the wedding and event center. So after that, it just kind of
So it was coincidental
Yeah,
that
it's
you
coincidental and it connected.
Did you
and
have like a friend or something? Like what made you
I've
decide
had several friends
that you just wanted to help out?
yes, and it kind of ended up me just taking over and really coordinating the whole day.
Like you were Aunt Maggie?
Accidentally, I was just looking at things. So I'm like, well, you don't have a vendor for this. I'm like, oh, is that important? I'm like, well, oh, it's a tradition to get a cake. So I mean, I would, yeah, well, let me help. So
Yes. Okay.
so it kind of started that
I
way.
did not know that.
Yeah.
So you just learned something. Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it
Very, very
started.
cool.
And then, when everything was completed, I was helping give tours and things at the venue and just already kind of naturally making connections with the bride. And I was like, well, I really wasn't even trying to hard launch it. I'm like, I kind of do this on the side.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
Well, we need
great,
that.
Yeah. All right, now I got another gig.
Well, that's
Yeah.
great. Okay. So with the changes at Wisp and Well, what are the changes that you've made? What are you doing different now?
So we did take out hair just because we just wanted to expand on the wellness side, really. So we took out hair. We missed Lisa. She was such a precious gift, but she's not far from us, and we still refer all the hair people to her. So we're just doing massage and facials now, waxing. I think that's about it. So.
And you kind of revamped the place a little bit, made it your style, and your room is now unique,
Yes.
different. Okay.
And I do, so I talking about what a hard worker I am, but it's almost a detriment sometimes. I think it was my survival mode, just work. And so saying that, I took yoga I sold the spa. I did yoga and thought I was going to try to get more in yoga. And then life just happened, so I never was really able to focus on my yoga. And so I did a few classes for a little while, but then with everything, it just kind of faded out. And then I had somebody reach out to me because I'm like, I want to do yoga, start back my yoga. Don't know how or where, but so Lake Martin Yoga, Bianca reached out and she's like, will you teach this class for me? And I'm like, I hadn't taught in a year. But of course I practice 4 or 5 days a week, so I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But teaching is totally different. So, but anyhow, I went and taught the class. Like, you don't have to charge them, but I went and taught the class for her. She's like, yeah, you're going to charge them. And so it was great. It was on the lake, 12 people, beautiful view, just absolutely the best way you could start a morning. And I'm like, yep, I got to get back.
Got to get back into this.
Yeah, it's great. It was so precious, and they tipped me $80. So that's the unexpected and just another gift. But
Yes, absolutely. Very cool. I love that.
I would like to start in the room that I have some private yoga sessions and things like that as well.
Yes,
So,
because you are a certified yoga instructor as well as a licensed massage therapist and a licensed cosmetologist. Do you have any other credentials I didn't mention?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right. So you touched on something that I had actually written down. I wanted to be sure that I mentioned at some point. We said something about survival mode, and I don't think most people realize how many people are walking around in a state of survival mode. And so I kind of want to explain like what that means really. Okay, so Hope, your experience, your career history includes teaching a lot of young girls, counseling a lot of young girls in challenging situations that had been sent to a camp. You were a camp counselor. And so you could maybe give me a little bit more on this, on how to explain it to someone, what it means when someone is in survival mode. Do you have a way of describing it that you would say?
I'm trying to think. Probably the best way to describe it is just almost feeling like there's a sense of urgency of like constant. And it's hard to get out of that thought process, the mindset.
Yes.
Like your body is connected with your mind of I'm always need to be on edge or ready to take action.
Yeah.
Like you don't really rest, or you're always in that
Absolutely, like a chronic state of
stress.
I would say fear.
Yeah,
And
it's fear-based.
It's
Yeah.
all like,
Yeah.
So I think fear would be a good word there. 'Cause you're just like fearful of my life's not going to be.
Yeah, if I don't work harder, I mean, what if I miss this money right here, and then I needed that, and then, I, like, that's what, like, constantly, and if I wasn't busy, like, to the point of feeling that way, then I felt shame, like I was lazy.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, I cannot, it still challenges me to get through an entire movie, to sit still for like a whole movie.
Yeah.
I usually have to work on a puzzle to make it through one. I can't just watch it. Or something like that, because I'm constantly thinking, gosh, there's something I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I have a hard time just being. It's challenging for me. So, but anyway, one thing that happened, whenever I've probably been here maybe about 6 months, I'd say. And I had a haircut client to come in, walk in, and I am now transitioning out of hair. So I'm going to try to stay on this topic, but I'm going to come back and talk about this because this reminded me of another thing. Okay, so I'm trying to transition out of hair because I decided to go to massage school because of all the peace that I find in the facial room. So I've been doing facials for the longest out of everything that I do, and it's always been my favorite thing to do, not just because I like the doing someone's face and seeing an instant improvement. They're literally instant improvement when they walk out. But also just the relaxation. It is I like that it starts at this time. I know it's over at this time. I have a flow and a routine and a way that I do it that makes it very relaxing for me and my client. And when you're in this field, you pass energy through touch. Okay. And so it's very important that I keep my energy very positive, very good. When I'm not well, I need to reschedule my massages. That's a new concept for me. Because used to, I come to work no matter what. And we both know that. That's not always been good. To our detriment, it has been at times, but that's something new that I'm learning, that it's no good to work when you're sick. No good for them, no good for me, no good for anybody.
Yeah.
But I had to unlearn that you have to work when you're sick.
Yeah.
And relearn that it's okay to rest. But anyway, so as I try to transition out of this hair and stuff, this lady comes in and she wants a haircut. She's a walk-in, and I happened to be free at that time. I happened to be, I think I was eating lunch or something. And I told her that I was sorry, I'm so sorry, but I actually don't have time to do a haircut today. And I could see her look at my food, and I could see her look at me. And, like, you're just gonna eat?
That's funny.
And I understood how it looked, that in her eyes, and so I said, I looked at her and I said, I know I'm actually eating lunch and I do schedule lunch breaks now. And, that's something that I'm used to not doing. She said, oh yeah, I grew up in a hair salon and no, we never ate lunch. You didn't eat lunch. And I said, I know. I said, and I understand. I said, I tell you what, let me cut your hair and let's talk while I cut your hair. Mm-hmm. And so I said, I'm only going to cut your hair one time. I'm not continuing to cut hair. I'm getting out of hair, but I don't want you to, leave with a bad experience or thinking a bad thing. I said, have a seat, and so I started cutting her hair and I said, I want to explain to you how hard it's been for me to let go of working from the time I walk in until the time I leave with no breaks and back to back, and how much happier me and my existing clients are in this last like year and a half that I've been doing things very differently. She said, you can always squeeze a haircut in. And I said, here's the thing, I am, but now I'm a little hungry, and I'm not, I'm gonna finish eating my lunch after she left. And then she knew that. I didn't tell her. I said, but if I didn't have time to finish my lunch, you're gonna leave, I'm gonna be a little hungry. The next customer gets the version of me that's a little hangry. Right. They get me a little shorter, a little more antsy. And then the one after that, by that time, I might be to a point where I'm short with them or my service isn't as good or whatever. And I am learning that I have to take care of me, that these people love me. These clients, they love me like I love them. They want me to be able to work in 10 years.
Yeah. Yes.
They don't want me to not be functioning, and they understand that, at 48, it's not like, the same as it was when I was 28.
Right. Yes.
I have to.
I think our mindset is just so much better too.
Yeah, that too. Absolutely. So anyway, we talked for a while, and I told her, I said, things are changing a lot, and it's for the better. I said, the people that you grew up in that hair salon watching them, I don't know how many of them may have had to have neck surgeries, back surgeries, knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries, rotator cuffs. Because they overworked themselves, as well as the mental state that their family had to deal with. Because of how tired and exhausted. I don't want to go home and not be able to cook a decent meal because I'm so exhausted. And we definitely to that point. So anyway, she had a better understanding, and and then again today, I had someone was talking, one that won't let me go. Doing her hair, and love her, and nobody can do her hair. Nobody in Auburn, nobody in Birmingham, nobody. So anyway, we were talking, and it came up that she had tried. So she moved from Stillwaters to Auburn, and she had tried a new place in Auburn because she was going to try to respect me, I'm trying to get out of here. I don't want to make you do my hair, but so I tried her, but it's awful. Look at it. And so anyway, she said, and let me tell you what else happened. And she said she tried. Her friend was going to try them. So her friend goes up there. She said there's like 10 chairs. Everybody's got a customer. Nobody's at the front desk. She didn't know what to do. So she stands up there and she's trying to figure out what to do. And she sees the QR code for the booking online and stuff, but she doesn't know how to do that. And so finally somebody sees her, comes over and tells her that she has to book online, and she's like, well, I don't know how or whatever. So they set up a time, and so she's not interested. She's like, I don't understand why everything's online and why I can't, and I said, well, let me let me help you understand where they're coming from and why they require this now. So today I had a 2-hour last minute cancellation. Okay. I have a head spa now that is like a big shampoo bowl, but it's portable, so you can move it in and out of the room. It, however, does require me usually 15 to 30 minutes to set up, 15 to 30 minutes to break down, just depending on what service is before it or what service is after it. Yeah. Okay, so the client was scheduled for 11. At 11:01, she texted that she's stuck on a conference call, and she's tied up on a conference call, and that she's 20 minutes away. Okay, in my head, well, shouldn't this call have been made 20 minutes ago to let me know that you weren't going to be on time, even if you were going to be late, right? But then also, it didn't matter. It's, at that point, if she's not going to make it, it doesn't matter. There's no, going back and forth. But it wasn't prepaid because it wasn't booked online. So I had 2 hours worth of services that I was just here. It was too late for me to get someone else. The rest of the day's appointments wouldn't work right in order for that to work. And so anyway, long story short, there was nothing there. And so I explained to her, I said, now, if she had booked online, it would have been paid for, and I wouldn't have been out that money.
Yeah.
Now, technically, I could still bill her for it, and that's probably what I should have done. But I usually let people have a one-time, grace or whatever. But probably not with her. I probably will require, like I did send her the book link to book online whenever she's ready to rebook. But from now on, that's probably how I'll do all those services, because it's such a stress to get the thing in and out, and I need to make sure that I'm compensated for that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the reason I said all of that was because, again, my customer didn't understand why this online booking thing is such a big deal now. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, and then there's the other thing. We're all on heightened alert about our safety right now. And when I'm here alone, if I'm doing a facial or a massage, the door must be locked. It has to be locked. And so if someone comes up, I can't, it's nothing I can really do about it. I am not in a position to have a full-time receptionist up here. The prices would have to go up and the customers wouldn't be happy. I'd rather keep it like it is and teach them how to book online. And so, and it's not that hard, and they've all embraced it now, but they have to be explained, to understand. And so I said all of that just to put that out there so that people understand some of these things that maybe they don't always get the other side. They don't always have the other perspective. So, and then the reason I wanted to come back to this thing about toxic, the hair stuff. So why are we getting out of hair? So I enlightened my client earlier too on this, that one of the reasons for me that I'm transitioning out of hair is I am becoming more and more aware of how all of the products that we put on our skin are absorbed into our bloodstream and do have an effect on us. So all of the things that we breathe in do have a cumulative effect on our lungs and our brain. A lot of things can be neurotoxins. I don't want to breathe in mixing the ammonia and the developers and I don't want the products, the color absorbing into my skin. I don't want all of that stuff, because we've had so much death in our family due to cancer, and and plus just not even, not just that, but how it affects my mental and emotional state. It does. These chemicals and stuff, it really does. And so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to kind of, do a little less hair, just to not have as much of that. But also, some of the other things. And for you, I think it was probably more of a space thing at the spa. I know that matters to you as well, of course, but.
Yeah, it was, because Lisa had a great clientele, and Lisa loves her clients and loves what she does, so she's gonna keep doing hair. Yeah, but it was just space-wise, there wasn't enough space.
So, and and I realize that you can use that there are some more natural products and things like that are safer, and I try, and I've used some lines, but in order to get the results that most people are wanting, you really have to use chemicals to get hair color to do right, and so you can use a line that might be a little more than, or safer or whatever, but they all still basically have the same ingredients. So that's one of the reasons. And now we have started, we've invested in Neora cosmetics, and so you called me and talked to me about this product line, and so I'm going to let you tell me some of what you shared with me to begin with, like why you wanted me to partner with you.
So, even I did Mary Kay with you for a little bit, but then I was kind of like, I love the products, I really do, but I just can't put them toxic chemicals on my skin, every day. So, anyhow, I've always dipped in a little bit more natural makeup, and so we use some Aveda at the spa, and then also use some Arbonne, which my friend Amy is who's did this other thing, but she got me interested in Arbonne because they have European grade standards, which that means is there's over 2,000 chemicals that the United States let in their products that Europe does not. So anyhow, so at that point, I used Arbonne with her, and then she called me. She's like, this company is so great. I just decided to change over. She said it's even better. Let me not say better than normal. Anyhow, she just said it's so great that I decided to switch over. It has, there's a lot of people that do fillers and what's the other one? Botox and fillers. And they have a natural line that just puts on your skin with the European standards. And also just their skincare is so incredible. And because I trust her, I really do, because she is very organic, very natural. She is very particular about what she puts in or on her body. I did a retreat with her one time, and very clean eating. So I trusted her, and so I was like, okay, well, and also we're not doing Aveda anymore for a few reasons, but anyhow, I was like, well, let me try this. So everything I've found out so far I love. Me and Amanda's gonna play with it more on ourselves and our clients, from everything she's seen so far, she's very happy, and the results she's sent us pictures of the people that she's been doing. It sounds really exciting, so I'm looking forward to playing with it more. Like I said, we are new, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too. I was very hesitant because I have Circadia skincare here at the spa, and I came across them at a trade show and was very impressed with the dermatologist that created the brand and the circadian rhythms that they based it off of, how your skin repairs itself at night and you should protect it during the day. And I love the whole premise of it. It mixed a lot of science with nature. So that was the premise of it, was that they started with a plant base, but they would occasionally have to add, this or that or whatever to make it effective. And I do love that line. I still like it. But the older I get and the more, I have only ever had, one time I went and had some filler put in my lips, and it bothered me so bad after I'd done it. I got in my head so much about it, I couldn't enjoy the benefit of it. I just obsessed over what I might have put in my body and how it might affect me, and and it didn't really give me the result that I really wanted anyway. Anyway, it was just, I felt like I had made a mistake somehow, and I almost just, it was just really bothering me. And so I had kind of, before you reached out to me, I kind of said, you know what, I'm slowly letting my hair go silver, very, very slowly. Very slowly. Thank you. But I'm slowly transitioning that because I would like to stop having those chemicals to be absorbed by my scalp. And so close to my brain. That is probably one thing that I would say that's probably the most important thing to me as I age more than anything else. I really want to keep my brain healthy. It is the thing that it matters most, I think, because if your brain is healthy, then you are going to be more self-disciplined about your exercise and your eating and all of that stuff.
Good. So when you feel good, you automatically look better. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but the part about that people don't realize about how all of this stuff affects our brain is really important. And I feel like, okay, so you're putting something that you do once every 4 to 6 weeks. That's one thing, okay? Hair color, whatever, okay. Something you are doing every single day, okay, this is a big deal. This is why, I told Patrick, I'm like, I want you to get the good, clean protein powder. Like if we are doing a protein shake every day,
Yeah.
that matters. Like we can't be
Yes.
putting things that may or may not cause cancer in our body every single day and not expect to end up with cancer someday. So that, and then if you're putting it on your face, on your skin, on your eye, like right here at our brain, we need toxin-free products. And so that is what drew me to it more. I'm like, okay, the fact that I went and I had that done, I did desire, because I'm pretty frugal with my money, and that day I dropped some money. And I think that bothered me as much as me thinking about the chemicals.
That's much money on them chemicals.
Exactly. And what if somebody needs something and I say I can't, I don't have it or I can't give it to them, and then I start thinking about having that done, and golly, I'm gonna be so ashamed, So anyway, that's what drew me to this, because I am 48. And even though I'm going to embrace this silver very slowly and like transition into that, and even though I had convinced myself that I was just going to like embrace it, like, here we are, like we're teaching girls that if they have cellulite to go spend $1,000 on a laser, what if we just say cellulite is a normal part of a person's body and we let it be, and I talk on that because it bothers me because I have it, but, instead, but at the same time, let's be realistic. This is the face we're presenting to the world. This is my business. And if there's something out there that is safe to use every day and will give me good results, then yes, we all want to embrace pretty and feel pretty and look nice and have our skin be supple. And, so I'm very excited about it. And, I'm excited about having a truly organic and natural product line that we can advertise and partner together and present this to people. So I wanted to be sure I covered all of that stuff, but I also wanted to come back and talk a little bit more with you.
While we're on that subject, real quick, let's talk about the scan that they can even do. I think it's just so cool. So.
Yes, Before we change subjects, let's do that.
So there's actually a scan you can do. You have to do it with your makeup off, and it tells what products you need. Well, it actually tells it analyzes your skin, period, and then it can tell you what products they recommend on that and how do you say it?
Analysis.
Thank you. Yeah. So anyhow, I think that is really cool. So
it is very cool.
And then I can't wait to see like how it goes. The skin after using it for 6 to 8 weeks and then longer. So
I'm very excited about it too. And one thing that I really like about that scan is that it makes it very easy for me, because I'm one of those people, I like to try to know everything before I start talking to other people about it, and that I'm trying to, not be so hard on myself and be like, it's okay. People are okay if you learn with,
as you go.
Learning. I'm learning. Yeah, we'll learn it together. But this one takes it a step further. They actually make those recommendations, and they'll let the client go on and order their product, have it sent straight to them, and they can edit it, change it. We can take our hand off of it.
That's right. Yes.
And so one challenge I've had as a business owner, boy, the challenges, but one of the challenges that literally had me in tears in front of one of my clients, I don't know if your mom told you about this or not, but I was really frazzled a couple weeks ago, really stressed out. I don't remember exactly what was going on, but I was stressed out, and I had forgotten to place an order for a client that had a cleanser lotion or something. And so, and I had placed another order, so the order had come in, and I didn't have, completely dropped the ball. So she comes back, and I was blindsided because I was getting ready, and she knocked on the door. I was getting ready for another appointment, and I wasn't expecting. Usually people text me that they're, I'm coming to pick up my order today, and I'll put it in the mailbox if I'm going to be back there or whatever, and I have it ready. But she blindsided me, and she came in while I was frazzled and when I had forgotten this, and I was running behind all things. And she's, I literally started crying. Okay. I was crying while I was looking for this lotion, and she was like, it's okay. It's okay. But anyway, after that, I was really had made my mind up. I wasn't going to carry retail anymore because it's, again, I don't have a secretary. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't understand, and the ordering can be just, it's part of the business that I do not like at all. Is the least. I don't like the feeling like a salesperson. I've never, even though I've always been good at sales, something about that just makes me feel like, I don't know. I really love this idea of we, do the scan, show them how they can place their order, tell them, and then you give it to them. We don't save the pictures. We don't, they have the pictures on their phone. They're doing the scan with their phone, not my phone, and I'm just walking them through it, showing them how to do it. And then they can be in complete control of when their order comes, how much it is, when it is, all that stuff.
And it's so great as it sounds like it is what we'll learn. It's like, whenever you love something, you go use it, you share it with other people, and it's just like you give them a gift. So.
Absolutely. And, it's kind of a newer brand. I had never heard of it before. Had you ever heard of Neil? So that's a good thing, I feel like, because that means that we have lots and lots of people to introduce it to, and everything new has to start somewhere.
That's very true. And I've actually been around for quite a few years.
I think it was over 10 years. I think I saw it was over 10 years. So, but a lot of times, I talked about this with Riley on my last podcast, how sometimes it takes longer for things to get to small towns. There's pros and cons to living in small towns. But a lot of times we're not always the healthiest in the South. So her business challenge is to.
And so when you do have better products, it's going to be a little more expensive than a lot of things. But again, it's I spend more on my food and things like that because I want better things in my body. Just like you was telling Patrick. We need the better protein.
And so and that's what Shauna is a friend of mine, and she'll tell you the same thing, that all of this stuff matters. And you can either pay now or pay later. That's her catchphrase. And it's a fact. You will pay sometime, either now or later. So
choose your heart.
Yeah, there you go. So now that we've covered that, I want to come back to let you cover a little bit more about these brides that you got involved with and how that evolved, and maybe even you can share some of your favorite moments.
So just a little bit. So I'm trying to think. So when I first kind of got started, like I said, it was for like friends and just kind of helping them out. Really just pay me whatever you want type of thing. And I ended up being like, oh, well, that's really all I got. No. How many hours did I put into this? But
for sure with Hope, and she goes above and beyond. I'm like, I'm working for like 25 cents an hour.
I'm probably working for free by the time for some of these.
And she buys stuff for her brides, and I'm like.
I was like, maybe it'll be an investment into like a business per se, but I could use again. But then when someone has to use it, I let them use it for free, and I'm like, well. So a lot of it is just kind of figuring out like as it goes. So that's what at first. I mean, I've always, as far as wanting to have control over my own schedule and things, kind of what set hours I can work and just have the flexibility that I've never had. I used to work for a nonprofit for a little over 3 years in Florida. So it was an alternative school. So that we did therapy, we did education, but my schedule there was 5/24. So that meant when I went into work, I slept in the woods. I was on call during the night. If one of the girls woke up, I would have to tend to their needs. So it was like when we said that survival. I was always survival at work. And then I had 10 to 12 teenage girls that were relying on me to kind of be their emotional support during those shifts.
One teenager is enough.
I'm definitely like my mom. I was like, payback for anything I've ever done. I've got it in this 3 years. But with that just being said,
your children are little angels.
I think so too.
At-risk youth.
Yes.
The girls who are already, doing some things and learning some lessons a little earlier than others would. But just about that, it was just figuring out just to tie it back in, I have control over how I can make my appointments. I'm not just available whenever, however, which to me almost seemed like was like, so weird. Like, I have more control of my life, and I love
Yeah.
this. Or even like, yeah. So just a little bit about that. So just kind of how it got started, and then it ended up picking up and had more people. And then I just, when people were reaching out for quotes, unless I knew them and or had like a prior relationship and just really wanted to help them, I was quoting people like, higher than what I'm like, this is my worth, and this is what I'm gonna, if you want me to come in and really do everything, these are my prices.
Yeah.
So I definitely dropped back on the scale of how many bookings and things I've got, but now I'm like, I do this as well as help my mom run Maple Row, so I'll do tours and other things just connected with the communication and everything on that front. But then also been helping with Wisp and Well and us getting that launched and really just defining like the vision and everything we want that to come into.
Yeah.
But just to kind of go back to your point too about bride, so I mean that's why each one I think is just different. I've been blessed with just like great clientele so far. So
You haven't had any bridezillas?
not really per se. I mean, I definitely let's see. I would say not bridezillas. I feel like I've really created a good relationship with some of them. I think everyone kind of has their quirks and things.
Yeah.
But just overall though, I feel like I've had a really great experience so far. Yeah.
Very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine everybody does have their quirks, and I bet it's kind of weird to try to figure out like what might be super important to one person might not. The next person's like, oh, I don't care about that. I want it, but
Yes,
this is
yeah.
a big deal. And
Yeah,
like
exactly.
be like weird things being super important.
Yes.
Have you had anybody with like something that you thought was unusual or?
Let's see. The one thing that just kind of popped up in my head. Well, this is just the planning details and things. So like, for instance, it was like how many plates and things should be ordered and everything. And then before, I always go in and count and double and make sure. Which I'm giving my mom a shout out too. Super grateful for her because she helped me when I was in a bind. But we had this bride who, which I know the orders and the quantity, like amount of how many to order. I guess she didn't notice the quantity and just ordered one pack of plates for the entire wedding and silverware, and like I'm freaking out. I'm like, and that to be pretty too. It's like a special look. It's not just your random trip to Walmart. And so my mom and one of her friends had a little evening out together and bopped around. So
1,000 stores.
because I want to say it is easier for the brides that are more plan A because they're already a little organized themselves and go over some of those details. And now I've gotten to like how many I want you to count how many plates you have, like because she was a more relaxed type B type of person, so it was like everything's fine. And then I'm like to her, everything's great. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh. And then we also had some bread. They went a pretty loaf of bread for they did communion together. Yeah. And I was like, well, did you pick up the loaf of bread? And she's like, oh no. I wanted to be pretty, not just like I'm like, well, of course, because it's going to be there. But now I'm like,
pictures.
Where are we going to get this pretty loaf of bread? No, I have enough time. The contacts I need to make sourdough and things like that. You have to let them know in advance. It's not like a tomorrow thing. So I will say there's been a lot of learning lessons for myself too, and things that I don't originally think I need to extra follow up on. I need to. Follow up.
Yeah.
So it's definitely improved my communication skills times 100.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. Yeah, I love this. I think that it is the perfect field for you.
One thing, no matter how great people are, and they're all great. I say they're all that we've had are great. But the thing, whenever somebody has a wedding, most of the time, I think Danielle was the exception.
Oh, yeah.
But people are just automatically stressed.
Yes.
So you just don't get to see their best side. Because I think they're, and I'm probably not saying that right, but they're just, it's not like the spa experience. We love people leaving, they're
you're seeing a different side.
Because they're just like, they're just tense. It's
just anxiety too, especially with the amount of people and a lot of not comfortable. Now I have 150 guests that I need to speak to and walk in front of. I don't want to be the center of attention, but yet you are going to be the center of attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad. It's just I don't think you actually get the best of them. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah. So I guess that makes it more part of your job becomes making sure that you do what you did, which is so I used to have this director that Cindy Fox taught me this really cool lesson once, or a fable or whatever. So you're supposed to be like the duck that is gliding across the water. You know how smooth it looks, and it just looks like the duck is just floating.
Mm.
Did you know that that duck is working like crazy underneath?
Yeah.
That those legs
Legs
are
are-
just a moving, that they're not just
Mhm.
floating, but nobody sees it.
Yeah. So that's me on the wedding day. I'm
Uh-huh.
underneath it, and yeah, the what it was
And
like
they see what the bride sees
yeah.
is this,
To make
and
it
that's how
Yeah.
that's your value. Your
Yes, yeah.
value is that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's
make
what I
it look-
care so much about these people's weddings, as if it's like my own day, if not more. I'm like,
Yeah.
if it's my wedding, I'd be laid back, but I'm like, no, this is someone else's. I have to take care of this.
Because it's such a big deal to them.
It is, yeah.
So, what I guess one thing that's kind of cool about it is that we can give them massages if they need one.
That's right.
If we need to manage the stress.
Yeah.
But I guess with having like our, one of the reasons I went into the wedding industry, well, number one, the 100% honest reason is because I just wanted the house. I wanted the land, and
Yes,
that's
because it's a
farm.
beautiful place.
But the only way I knew I could convince my husband was to say, let's do a wedding venue.
Let's
So
make
we
it
lived on
popular.
there. That was my plan, but he's not allowing me.
Skipping a little bit, sorry. He's not allowing me to live there.
And starter farm.
Yeah. But the reason I felt like I knew we could do that so well is because we have been renting our houses out. We're the crazy people.
Yeah.
So we'll move from house to house and rent our houses out, and just whenever we would get thank you notes, because I'm also very thankful for Lynn, because she definitely helps make it 5-star experiences. But we give people 5-star experiences. They're so happy.
Yeah.
Write us thank you notes, leave us flowers, and so I knew that we could do this with a wedding venue. So
Yeah.
and they're still great, like I said. But it's they just, when they get to come in on our rental stuff, they're just 100% relaxing, having a good time, and everything's very clean. And we try to make sure everything's really nice for them. And wedding, of course, everything's the same, but when their anxiety is up, it's just a little bit different. So we're learning through all that.
You have to learn to handle people with kid gloves, because they are in a delicate space,
And I think when I bring this all, we had one bride, and I really didn't know if she was happy with us. Like, she just seemed really unhappy with us, and I was just like, I worked so hard to make sure everything was so perfect, did so many things that we won't even continue to do because it's not our job. But just wanted to make it such a good experience, and did not think she was happy. But then after, she still goes on, writes us reviews every time somebody asks. Is like, so it's like,
Recommends
okay,
us,
just realize they have that anxiety. It doesn't mean. So
Yeah.
that helped me learn a lot.
That's a very
So,
good point.
Yes.
That is, I'm really glad you shared that, because it's so true that a lot of times people, I can't always gauge if someone, is enjoying their massage or whatever. I'm still new at it. And so a lot of times I'm going through it, and I never get any feedback that lets me know. And so I'm kind of questioning it, and then I'll get to the end and they'll be like, oh my God, it's the best massage I ever had in my life. And I was like, it was? You know, but it's because they're that relaxed. But the point is that some people just aren't as expressive.
Yes,
very
yes,
true.
yes.
And-
And it's just so focused on their wedding day, which they're supposed to be. So.
Right. So learning all of that is very cool. I can't, what time did we start? I don't know how long we've been going. Does it say up here? I know it.
I think 57 minutes.
Yeah,
I think,
we only went like an hour, so that was really good. I think that we covered everything that I can think of. I guess I did write this down that I wanted to say something about the little E, but you kind of covered what European grade stands for. But I never knew until I saw a post from somebody that's New York representative posted about the little E on the products. Did you know about that E?
I don't think so.
Okay, so when a product is actually European standard, I don't know if there'll be any pictures that you can see. My eyesight's not really not good enough to see it, but there's a little E on it that lets you know that it's European grade. And so whenever you are looking at your products, you can know whether or not they are that. And it's pretty safe if they are. So anyway, I thought that was cool, and I wanted to mention that because a lot of people don't know how to determine whether or not, because a lot of the labels can be misleading about like vegan or this or that, and
they can for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, that I was going to throw that in, but
Thank you for sharing that.
yeah,
Good
you're
to know.
welcome. But
I was gonna say too, I don't know if it's called Yucca or Yucca, but it's Yuka. It has like a little like potato looking thing. But it's an app that you can download on your phone and you can scan like products. So if you're,
okay.
I've ran out of shampoo and I'm like, I don't have time to order it, so I'll go around and scan a couple things at Walmart, and it tells you, like, it'll give you a score out of 100 of how like bad will be lower to how good will be higher.
Okay.
So then I'm like, oh, like this is something I can use in the time being or whatever.
Yeah.
This is 80 out of 100,
So
which is
it's-
much better than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like whenever you're, eat this, not that.
Correct.
Things. So yeah, because again, cumulative effect, it might not be like 100% safe, but I'd rather put something that only has 3 chemicals on my hair than something that has 10.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And it breaks down the ingredients and tells you like how much of the risk factor, what exactly are the endocrines, like it'll tell you about each ingredient and like what are the harmful things and or like these are the safe things that are in the products, which I think is really cool if you just want to get to like just learn, because all these chemical words sometimes just seem so overwhelming, and it kind of helps make that transition a little bit easier to understanding what's actually in the products.
Okay, yeah, that's very cool. I'll have to download that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else like about the do we need, I know what we need to do. We need to make sure everyone knows how to get in touch with you to book.
So yeah, anyone that's interested in finding a little coordinating, wedding planning, want to come check out Maple Row to help make your event successful, you can reach out to me personally on my cell. That's 256-827-9589, or my email, which will be events.hopeful, that's HOPEFUL, just one L, @gmail.com, and I'll be happy to help navigate until making your next event a success.
If we have a few minutes, why don't we talk about the event you're putting on? So I'm so excited about that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just really excited about it. And I just think it's going to keep growing and growing, because I thought about some more people that I think would be great speakers in the future. So anyhow, just why don't you tell a little bit about the
I'm
event?
really glad you brought this up, because I completely wouldn't have thought to do this. Okay,
And I think it just goes along with everything else we're doing. So
What do you need?
we got me that flyer off the thing.
Yeah. Fly. I'm like, fly?
It's so
there's a lot.
Okay. So we are going to host an event on October 19th at Maple Road. And it is going to be called Soul Fuel Afternoon of Alignment. I have 5 speakers. So first, let me back up a little bit and talk about the one that we did in the spring.
Yes.
Okay, so that was so fun. I was a little nervous, like when I realized the magnitude of what I'd taken on. It turned out to be a little bigger than what I, thought it was going to be, which is a great thing. It went so good. But some of the speakers that we had were just, it was phenomenal. It was such a relationship, again, going back to environment. Okay, so what's my purpose in this podcast? What's my purpose in these events that I'm hosting? The purpose is, it's so important for you to be in the right environment of like-minded people, people who have your best interest at heart and are walking the walk themselves. Because, as you know from teaching the at-risk youth, who we hang around
Gosh, yes.
is everything.
Yeah.
You will either be healthier or less healthy. You will either be more reckless or less reckless in your lifestyle choices. All of the things. Your relationships will be better when you hang around people who have better relationships.
Yeah.
If you are hanging around people who have constant drama, chaos, strife, and division in their relationships, your relationships will too.
Yeah.
So, you know that, I know that. And what changed, for me was learning, all of these, and Mary Kay helped me with that too, getting to meet different kinds of people as well, and those people. So through the years, I've just evolved, and it's just become more and more important for me to bring people with me. I think that's what it is. I think once you know, how much better you feel.
For sure.
How much better your life is, all the things. And I see that my children are, oh, thank God, they're like receiving these lessons and learning and instruction and not rejecting it. They are, it's so much different than what I feared. I was so scared that my children might follow some of the mistakes that I've made. But thankfully, the environment changed, the people around them, these, and so their lives have been better, and so they have better choices. And so I want to share this with more people. So I'm constantly looking for people when I come across someone who helps me in any way, shape, or form, whether even if it is paid, I don't mind paying, for help. But a lot of these people are people who they were my friends, and they happened to have this or that, and we were just helping each other. And so Janice spoke at the first one and talked about how you had to learn to allow yourself to not work yourself to death, basically. Talking about, you recap it for me.
So I was still at this time not even ready to probably speak, but I just felt like I needed to. But saying that, I had about died the year before because I was working on Maple Row. It was so much bigger of a project than I thought. So I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I probably wasn't hydrating like I should. If I was, it was only water. And this is just a little bit on what the water does not hydrate you like we were always taught to believe. So make sure you're putting some minerals in your water, some lemons and limes and stuff. And so we lived out in Tallahassee. I didn't always get to go to the grocery store to get them in, other things or have the other things. So I was probably drinking water, but not the things that actually hydrated you. Wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping, but saying all that. So I literally fell out and they thought I died. And so that kind of, my speech was just like valuing that you don't always have to be busy, that you don't always have to work yourself to death, because you can, and then one day you could not be there. And I say that, but we could all die tomorrow. Look at all the tragedies that have happened lately, just, so regardless, enjoy life, and
That was the point of your speech.
Yes,
It was to laugh.
to laugh.
Yes.
Just to,
Yeah.
when you have friends and you get together with your friends and people you love and you laugh, it just makes life so much more enjoyable. So that was kind of my point to my speech. So.
Yeah, and everybody just did so good, and it was so. I got so many cards and letters and thank you notes, and just everybody, just really made me believe and know that it was very powerful, very impactful, and that it has to be done again. And so, and of course, we have those people now that are in what I'm calling the self-care army. And so they're all in a little group me chat where we share anything that is mental, physical, or emotional health related, improving your life in any of those facets. If we find out something local is happening, we post it in there and everybody has access to it. Of course, everybody has social media and we all see it on Facebook and stuff, but a lot of times you miss things that are local because you missed it. You didn't see it. The algorithms are different. You don't see everything everybody posts. And so this is keeping people from missing different local events. And I think that it's cool, and we share important articles, like if Janice wanted to go on there and share how she found out that you have to put the pink salt and the lemon juice in your water, and it, you need more than just water if you're out there working in that heat and that stuff.
Yeah.
You can prevent heat stroke, just like there's so many things that we can share with one another. And so that turned into that, and that will keep growing, like you said. And now we're hosting the next one, and these are our 5 speakers that we have coming. Carrie Eckhart. I am so excited about this because she has adopted, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 of the, I think, 12 children that she has in foster, that she fosters. And she is one of my best friends since elementary school, and her sister is still one of my best friends, and she's coming all the way from Tuscaloosa to talk to us about what it means to really be pro-life, how you can help beyond just convincing people that they need to have the baby, but after they've had the child, how you can support these women that are, either young moms or single moms, or even these foster moms that could use some assistance. Carrie has some angels that help and provide snack boxes, because they go through, if you can imagine 12 kids in a house,
Yeah.
how many snacks they go through in a day just to send the kids to school. And so she signed up, I think, on Amazon. She just sends a box of snacks every month to their house. And so she'll talk about some things like that, but even bigger things than that. She's going to get, to the heart of foster care. And then Bethany Owens, who has a spa in Ashland, is going to come and talk to us a little bit more about holistic skincare. And I love Bethany because she is a forager. She'll go out and find the things and really literally come back and mull it and use a pestle and mortar and fix it up and then go put it on your face in the spa. And I love that, Of course, she uses regular products and soap products, and but she really does know so much. She spent a lot of time learning about this, and her son is at Southern Union in massage therapy school.
Oh, awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
Lyric, and he's so smart, such a cool
So
kid.
Southern Union offering a massage therapy school again?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe he is in massage therapy school, and I think it's Southern Union, but maybe it's Wadley.
Oh, yes, they do have. You are right. On
And I
that.
don't know if the class that Stormy from Elevated State, who is going to be doing the sound bath, she went to an essential oil class that was at Southern Union that Lyric was at too.
Okay.
That's why I thought he went to Southern Union there.
Which it is Southern Union, but it's just
It's a different one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was cool that they're in an essential oil aromatherapy class together, and then Stormy's going to be one of our speakers. Stormy's going to do the sound bath, and also to talk about how she too struggled with a borderline personality disorder diagnosis, bipolar diagnosis, and came to find out it was just the chemicals and all of the toxins. And I still have the book that you gave me on how to cure bipolar disorder with naturally or something like that. And it was a whole like a scientist, not a scientist, a psychiatrist had written.
Okay. Was it Kelly Rowland?
I think so.
Yes, I love Kelly
And that was the first time I really understood and realized that some of the things that had been struggling with were actually more related to me having sort of almost like an allergy to alcohol. As it was anything else. And so the chemical imbalance happened because of alcohol. It wasn't a chemical imbalance. When I added alcohol, that chemical imbalanced me.
I don't think we're ever taken away from medicine, but I think that there is a different way you should try at least.
Yes.
That definitely, there's so many things. And yes, there's so many toxins out there that's causing so much of the stuff that they will never tell you because, again, I'm not taking away from medicines, but that is a business.
Yes.
So.
Right. Yeah. And so I really love that Bethany is going to get to talk to people about this, because the medical versus natural approach to it or whatever, for me, if they are going to approach it in a medical way and that's the way that works for them, whatever works. If you are experiencing relief from anxiety and stress or whatever, and that's the route that you went, if you are getting it, I'm happy that you're getting that, and I will not say anything negative about it. That's working for you, great. But if it's not, because it wasn't working for me,
It doesn't for so many people. When you really talk to people. So
Yes.
That's a concern.
and that's the whole thing, it just wasn't working, and the side effects were worse than the other. And so when I learned that there is another way, and when you couple it with finances, it ended up being less expensive for me to approach it naturally, even though I did have to buy more expensive, foods and things like that, products to use. It still ended up being less expensive in the long run because I'm healthier. I can work more whenever I'm happier and healthier.
Yeah.
Before it was putting me in a bad place. So anyway, Bethany's gonna be there doing the sound bath. Hope will be there.
Gonna be there doing the sound bath.
I mean, Stormy will be there doing the. Bethany's gonna talk about skincare. And then Hope is going to talk about coping skills to master for an improved quality of life, and some of the experience that she has had will give her she definitely has those skills to teach us. And then Stormy will dismiss us with that. And Tina will be there talking about relationships and the fact that there are a lot of narcissistic personality disorders out there now. And people seem to be, narcissists seem to be drawn to empaths. So empathetic people tend to draw a narcissist, and that is very unfortunate because an empath feels everything, and they tend to get trapped in these relationships, and the narcissist tends to control an empath, and it's very unhealthy and very sad, and it's very unfortunate because unlike an alcoholic that could stop drinking and the abuse would stop, or some other things that people can get help for, a narcissist generally doesn't change.
And I think it's with everything though. So if they can figure out they have it, I think they could change. It's just them actually coming to terms that they actually do have it.
Right.
Because there's all the things that we're talking about could really truly help them.
Yeah.
And the thing that's helped me in life so much is used to whenever I was younger, and actually to just maybe 5 years ago, that I thought if I had a thought that it was my thought, that it's like good, and I would even be mad at something like, why am I having that thought? Like, but now I've realized that I was told that thought would go away. That thought is not me. So sometimes people do have these thoughts, and you can either let them manifest in you, or you can get rid of them thoughts. So I would say with a narcissist, if they can figure out that they don't want them thoughts, they can change. So
I think, that was how I was viewing it too when I was talking with Tina when we did the podcast. And I felt the same way. I was like, well, but what if they want to change? Because I was looking at it like, there are times in my life when I've been self-absorbed and selfish, like when I was in the throes of the addiction. Specifically, I was very self-centered. The disease makes you self-centered. But because I wasn't a narcissist, then in my sobriety, I was able to be self-aware enough to recognize that I was being selfish, which then caused shame, which caused me to drink some more. But anyway, until I figured out, but that is what Tina told me. She said, well, the problem is they're probably never going to be able to recognize because they are in denial that they're ever the problem. And so, but I'm sure it probably is one of those things that, there are certain cases and times and, that it could be corrected or fixed or whatever. But for the most part, these people are in these terrible relationships where they're being manipulated and trapped and whatever. And so her purpose is to coach these women into standing up for themselves and demanding the respect that they deserve and the life that they deserve. So
because the person always has to want to change, and so that's the thing. And so if they don't want to change, you'll be in that misery for the rest of your life. So,
absolutely. So she's going to talk, and I'm really excited about all of these, and then I think it's going to be a wonderful day. And we also have Miller's is going to cater for us, so I think you're going to have some smoked meats and wraps. We're going to have some fruit cups. I'm really excited about that because it was important to me that we have a healthy meal. Of course, again, we could go. You can always will it be organic? Maybe not, because if it was, then I would have had to go up to the tickets would have been unaffordable. And I want this to be affordable for people. We even have one person has already bought a ticket for a foster mom to come get her cup refilled. So, I love that is something that is also happening through this event. We have some vendors at this event. I'm super excited about that. Didn't know if we wanted to do this, and you told me I could try it because we thought about it last time. We weren't sure if we wanted to be salesy or not, but this is more of a letting people know again about the services that are out there in our little community. So we've got Ashley, who is a Zumba instructor, and she recently, I just love how God is working all this together, because the Ashley that's coming just got a job. She wanted this job, and she's been trying to get into social work.
Okay. Okay, sweet.
What are the odds that someone she just got not one but two of the jobs she was wanting in social services, and so she's going to be there with Carrie being there. I thought that's a cool connection. And then we've got Alexis with Wisp and Well. She will be there, and she's going to have she's going to let everyone sign up for their free Neora skin scan and talk about those products as well as some of her services. And then we've got, let's see, who else do we have? Help me think of the other.
The gym person.
Yes, Jennifer Singleton of T-Fit Gym in Tallahassee. She's also she's a certified personal trainer, I believe, and she's got more credentials.
Right.
So she will be there, and
functional medicine.
Yes, Dr. McWhorter's representative, Haley, will be there. And I haven't had a chance to follow up with her yet. I'm going to talk to her this weekend, so I don't want to say too much make promises of what exactly she'll be doing there. But I think this is huge, this functional medicine. He's had an office in Montgomery for a while and is opening a new office in Auburn. This better way of dealing with things, I think functional medicine is making its way down south. So we finally are going to have some choices and some options. I think that was it. Was that 5?
That was 5, yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, and that's our event. The tickets are only $40, and all you have to do is Venmo me to do that. And my phone number is 256-596-1136 if anyone wants to reach out for me to send the link for that. Janice, how do people reach you for booking anything if they want to?
So we have a website you can check out. It's mapleroe.com. That's it, right, Hook?
Yeah, it's Maple Roe, but ROE.
Yes.
Yes.
mapleroe.com. But yeah, Maple ROE, like my last name.com. And so you can check out our website, and there are numbers on there, and you can also send an email through the website or check out that way. So.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
And then we have Wanda at the spot answering the phones, or Wanda and Hope, I guess. And the number there is 256-373-3733.
Perfect.
And so it is wispandwellspa.com. So
okay.
Yeah.
Wisp, the and sign.
it's
Spelled
A-N-D.
WISPANDWELL.com.
Total, no, spa.com.
No. Oh, sorry, that's the email. Sorry.
Wisp and Well
.com. That's it. Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Again, I'm so excited about this. I mean, I just think that these people are truly incredible. I believe that it's such a gift that anybody could give themselves for $40, which includes your lunch. I think you're gonna be sad if you miss out. You might not know it.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it because at the end, the sound bath, I love a sound bath. It's so relaxing and peaceful to me, and just getting to relax at the end of it, and then being just in this environment where all these people want each other to be happy, healthy, and successful, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. You just have to be there to understand.
The like-minded community that you almost get immersed in when you come to something like this.
Yeah.
It's just hard to compare it to something.
It really is. So, okay, well, thank y'all so very much. Was there anything else you wanted to say?
I was like, kind of thinking about like stories. So I do have a quick little wedding planning story. I was a coordinating gig that was at a house, an Airbnb house. And before I asked some questions like, have you let the person know, like through the booking that, this is, you're having a wedding, so it's going to be louder and everything's confirmed, everything's great. So I didn't really think too much of it. They had a little place too for overflow of parking. They had a parking lot, a vehicle going back and forth. But of course, you're always going to have people that I'm just going to drive closer and park anyways. So it just turned out it was raining first of all. So we had to do it last minute. I was like, we need to get some tents in here. We can't and the house is kind of smaller. So it was just a little chaotic, everything. But I'm trying to be, my face is just happy and smooth and everything's great. We're going to make this work. Don't worry about it. And then I had someone walk up and banging on the house door, and I'm like, hello? And they're like, there's a neighbor in the yard, and he is angry. And I was like, oh, goodness. It's fine. You go in, just be calm. I'll go talk to this person. And I feel like I'm usually pretty, I like reason. Like, we can talk this out. This man. There was no talking. I walked over, and he was like, this car is parked in my yard. And I was like, you cannot even see his house from where the car's at. And I'm like, you mean it's on your property? And he's like, yes. I'm like, this much. It was 2 feet on his property. So I'm like, oh goodness, sir. I'm so sorry. I will find the owner of this vehicle and have it removed. We don't want to be a problem. We just have a young couple here. They're getting married. I'm like, they just have a lot of family, and it's just an event. And we just really want to focus on that today. And he's like, well, you better find someone to move this car. And I'm like, yes, sir, of course. I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm just wanting to be a smart aleck in my hand, but I'm like, no, I'm making things better. So I go in. It took me 30 minutes to find this person. Meanwhile, he's standing there on that spot until I found the person. So I'm like, who has this car with this bumper sticker? No one knows. Oh, great. And they ended up being in a hidden spot in the back of the house. And I'm like, I bet you're the person I'm looking for. And they were. So we had that. And then the cops ended up getting called later for the music. Yeah, as soon as 8 o'clock hit. So I'm talking to police. Hi, yes, this is the wedding. Are you in charge? I'm like, well, it was a last minute coordinating gig for a friend, so I guess I'm kind of in charge, but also not really. Let me go find the bride's dad. And I'm like, you can help me out here. So and I'm tell them a little bit what's happening. I'm like, they said we need to turn the music off. I'm sure we could just turn the volume down. It'll be fine. So he's chatting. So then he goes straight up to the bride after he's done talking to the cops, and she and her, now husband run out. They're chasing the cops down. The neighbor is still in the yard who was talking about the parking spot. It was just, I'm like, I'm taking, groomsmen wanting to kind of fight, and I'm grabbing their hands and walking them back. We're not getting rowdy here. We're just gonna let them figure it out and talk, and we're just gonna, because I'm like, oh, we're having this. I'm like, no, you're gonna go sit down. We're taking away the beer. Let's go put this somewhere else. A lot of and then fast forward even to when we were doing first dances and stuff like that. It was raining a little bit. We had tents and stuff. We already had everything planned out and mapped out of where the dances were going to be. But I had a bridesmaid who ran in and said, we're moving the pool table. And there's 10 guys trying to pick the pool table up. And I'm like, wait, no, get your hands off the pool table. Who gave you permission to touch the pool table? And they're like, we thought this would be a better first dance. But I'm like, it's a small room. 8 foot by 10. And I'm like, where are we going to move the pool table to? Shove it 2 feet in the corner? I'm like, guys, let go of the pool table. No one touch the pool table. We're going to do the first dances out here where we had already originally planned. There's a little bit of rain. If you don't want to get wet, get underneath the tent.
Oh, bless you.
I'm like, thank you for trying to help, but also, go away. But that's just a little snippet. I'm sure there was more that night.
Bless you.
Yeah. There was, I'm like, this is why. I'm like, I've learned some things too. And I'm not ever probably doing another Airbnb in a house wedding. That's rolled off. So,
I think that would be the end of that.
Was
and maybe just no open bars, that start too early.
Yeah. I'll have some control over that. Yeah. I just kind of wanted to end that on a funny note, but then I just wanted to say too, I just watching you and Mom, because I just think, y'all both kind of had to grow up fast, but y'all kind of learned just the survival of how to take care and just do. But then y'all kind of even leaned in and created, this bond to where y'all been able to guide and grow and just kind of challenge each other. And it's just been so amazing to see the both of y'all just, yeah. Yeah, I'm so proud of y'all. And I kind of just want to point out that, like, I think some people put this expectation in things of like, oh, like if you don't get it, like I say people to me, oh, you have it all figured out at 27. I'm like, no, I don't have it figured out. But also people experience like different things in life that happens, and we all have our own path and journey, and you can't put the same expectation, yes, of what is for someone else, because I'm so grateful that I've had my mom to help kind of guide me, and I've even had to move away for a bit to even do my own growing and getting out of the small town for a bit. But also I'm like, my people are here, and this is where I'm coming back home to.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say to y'all that I'm very, very proud of you both, and I think it's a testament to just, especially as moms, I think that's one of the greatest, like, gifts that you can kind of have, to watching you parent Abby and Cole and just how well they're doing. And I've even been able to, like, talk about some of the hurt and things that they've went through, and just your role and as a parent has just been profound. And same thing to you, Mama. Me and Gabe are forever grateful.
We need to end that before we need a makeup person.
I just want to say that. So.
That was
People
so
who
sweet.
truly have put in the work and are continuing to do that work every day, day in and day out. It's not I had this work.
Arrived.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no arriving.
We're here, we're all on
The
this
rescue
journey.
every day. Yeah, so thank you
Yeah.
for saying that. That
Absolutely.
really means a lot to me. So I really appreciate that. Okay, I think we need to end it for real.
That's right.
That's a wrap.